Welcome, everybody, back to the Carnivore Experience. My name is Bill,
I'm Wendy.
and today we are going to take and share with you our 1 year anniversary of being on carnivore.
So one of the first things that I noticed was within the first week, a lot of the swelling, that's pretty typical of any diet that you go on. You'll notice the swelling go down. But this was rather unusual. It was quite noticeable. My rings started falling off and my feet actually shrunk. My shoes don't fit. So it was that much of a drastic change just in my hands and feet alone. But what about you? What was the first thing you noticed with being on carnivore?
The first week and a half I was on carnivore, swelling absolutely. The bloat, the inflammation, I noticed within a week and a half, things just fit differently. Like Wendy said, my ring was rolling around on my finger and my watch became loose. And I also noticed my feet, the swelling in my feet started to go down. That was probably the most noticeable effect about a week and a half into carnivore that I had with it.
Yep. You remember that last night before we started the diet?
I do remember that. That was
Well,
terrible.
so I'm not sure that we shared this along the way, but we ended up going on a last hoorah before we went on any diet, any of the diets. And any of you who have listened to the video or listened to our story knows that we started out with a diet that we've done in the past. Then we went to keto, and then we were on keto for a week and discovered carnivore. So that's where we took off. But the night before we started dieting, period,
Period.
right?
Period.
Okay,
Yes.
so before we started dieting, period, we went to Sam's Club. We picked up our favorite meal, which was
Shepherd's pie.
shepherd's
It
pie.
was it was like this big.
Yeah.
And what was the dessert that we picked up?
You know, the old cinnamon bread from Costco. It comes in a 3-pack. No, we didn't eat all 3 loaves, but we did put away, I think, a whole one.
We put away one whole
Yeah.
loaf with all kinds of butter on top of it.
Makes me sick just thinking about it. So
Not
we
good.
ate till our heart's content and then some. And both of us suffered greatly that night with the heartburn, the GERD, the burping, that whole thing.
Right.
And it's honestly so happy to say that I haven't experienced any of that through this whole dieting process.
No,
The
none.
GERD was gone immediately. There's been absolutely no heartburn.
No.
And I think really the only sign of trouble is when we take on sweets. I'm starting to make a connection now that any of the sweeteners might not actually be working for me, but it could also be a bit of an imbalance between my protein and my fat. So that I am working on right now is trying to get that dialed in. I've really kind of struggled with it the whole time. Uh, but that the bloating from eating excess, it doesn't happen anymore. As a matter of fact, we never feel that way, and we can eat 2 pounds of meat in one sitting, and it doesn't have that effect on us at all. We are just plain comfortable.
About, I would say, the 1 month mark is when I really started to notice that a lot of aches and pains that I had had were just disappearing. I actually found one morning I woke up about a little after a month into this that I actually slept through the night without having to get up because my upper and middle back was hurting so badly. So that really resonated with me because now my sleep started to improve. And a good night's sleep and waking up without any back pain or any aches and pains going on. And I mean, it was only about a month in when that one took place, and that quick to start seeing the details. And I think if I remember correctly, I had lost about the first month, and you always lose, a decent amount of water weight on any diet within the first month. I think I lost 10, maybe 11 pounds the first month.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think it was about 6 weeks before we hit like the 20
Right.
pound mark. So yeah, that would have been about right. Yep. And that difference I noticed too, because I was waking up, especially one side, my leg would just get super sore and it would wake me up, and then I would toss and turn the rest of the night, and finally I would just be up because I was struggling so bad with trying to sleep without pain, and that's gone. That is gone. And we actually, our sleep has improved greatly. His Garmin used to tell him that he was only sleeping 2 to 3 hours a night.
Right.
And now we're sleeping 7 to 8.
So,
It's incredible.
and again, waking up every morning without having any aches or pains, which is, I mean, old age, you're going to have a few aches and pains, but not like when you're really, really overweight.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yep.
that's what you really, truly experience when you start to drop those pounds and really lose that fat. Your body really reacts.
Yeah. And with that, making the connection between the sleep and energy now, how do you feel your energy level is compared to what it was when we were overweight?
Well, and we had mentioned this in other videos too. You know, you'd eat your breakfast, you'd go to work, you'd have a some energy, but then you'd have to eat lunch, and you felt like an after lunch nap. Well, it was the carbs and the sugars and the crud we were eating. With carnivore, like Wendy says, you eat until you're comfortably stuffed, and then you don't snack or eat again until you're hungry. Your energy level, because of the protein and the fats that you're eating, your body, I mean, just loves that and is really using that. And you don't feel tired. Have you felt like you needed to take a nap?
No, those days
Yeah,
are gone.
I mean-
those days are gone. As a matter of fact, we just finished a project out in the garage, so
Yeah,
it's been, our time is not wasted. Let's put it that way.
exactly. So that's really been beneficial. I am going to tell you, about the first month and a half in, for everything that's positive that you're going to hear today, you're going to learn that as your body adjusts to eating the fats and the meat, your entire intestinal tract and stomach biome needs to adjust itself to the no more fiber and carbs and sugar. So you do get diarrhea, and that can last for people anywhere
That's
from
being nice.
yeah, that's being nice too. That can last anywhere from, for some people, 3 weeks, or for my
6
case,
weeks.
6, 8 weeks.
Different for everybody because
Right.
we've all had certain surgeries. We've all got our bodies in different stages of life. And I think all of those things kind of contribute to where our health stands. So that's why I'm in an adapting phase, trying to figure out what
Right.
my body can process as far as fat goes.
So that is, the one thing that I would, caution everybody just to be aware of that and plan accordingly. So, but that was about the only thing that I can say as far as a negative impact when we started and through the first month and a half of carnivore. So, what else did you experience as we were moving along, Wendy?
I really was impressed with how much the brain fog had lifted. Like, we don't have quite so much clutter in the brain going on anymore. We're actually finding it. We just have so much progress with plans and with things that we want to do and surety of what we want to do. It just being able to have a thought process without getting stumped. And I think depression, there's, it's something that I have battled on and off for the year, over the years, and that has really lifted for me as well. Just an overall feeling of well-being, and sometimes I equate it to joy, and it's been significant. So it's been worth it for me.
So that's something, that moving forward in this, we were kind of waiting to see the additional effects of what was going, because, we followed a few places on Facebook and read quite a bit and watched a lot of YouTube videos. And I'll tell you, everything that you hear about, depending upon how healthy you were going into the carnivore way of eating, you start to notice massive changes going on. Acne, if you have a problem with it, you would think with that higher fat, acne went away. I didn't have any of that. It was
adverse effects. Some people, I would make my own, this is kind of a little off topic, but just to show that the ideas on certain things sometimes might be wrong. And just for one instance is a homemade face wash that I make. And in it is olive oil. And I have friends that won't touch it because they assume that olive oil is going to make them more greasy and they already have greasy skin, when actually the opposite is true, or the opposite is true, because the olive oil is actually something that pulls out from. So the clarity in your skin with olive oil is amazing. And so that's kind of what we're discovering on this carnivore diet, is that the needs of our bodies have been not met. And now we feel like we are thriving probably for the first time in our life.
and and that's being in our mid 50s.
Yep.
I mean, and it's I myself have not felt this good since I was probably in my 20s, 30s.
Yep.
Just the energy and just not having the aches and pains. So that's been very beneficial.
And it's hard not to be super excited about
Yeah.
it because we were
Right.
in a very bad place. And to be able to feel completely opposite of what we were feeling is pretty amazing.
Right.
One of the other things that I noticed, and you had noticed the skin tags. You were noticing them disappearing, or
I had skin tags all along my eyes,
yeah,
and under my eyelids and stuff. And then I would get up in the morning, do the daily routine, shower, shave. And as I'm looking in the mirror, their skin tags, they're slowly disappearing. And they were either shrinking or they were drying up and falling off. And again, I'd had them forever. All they normally would do is just grow. And now I have hardly any skin tags whatsoever. They're not even
they're
attempting
not
to try
even
to grow on
your,
my
yeah.
face anymore.
Those are gone.
So, they say that, everyone's worried about cholesterol, but cholesterol has a lot to do with your skin and keeping your cells healthy. So that's one of the reasons that I really think that helped them skin tags go away.
Yeah. And just to finish off on that, I have, it's hereditary. My family, a lot of women in my family end up with not just the skin tags, but these moles, the moles on the face and the hands, and age spots, things like that. And I had one big mole here by my lip. That is going away. It is like smooth to the touch now, where it wasn't before. These on my face are getting smaller. And then I actually had one on my eye starting, and it was the same one that my grandmother had. Hers had gotten really big on the top of her eyelid, and mine was actually still pretty small. And I used to hide it as best as I could behind eyeliner, and now it's gone. It's completely gone, so it doesn't even mess with my makeup application or nothing.
Right. And you've dieted in the past, as have I.
Yeah, that's
and,
never happened.
And we've had
before.
some success, I mean, with different ones, but never have we had these kinds of things happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a reversal of our skin aging
Completely.
and things. So,
Like glowing skin instead of pasty skin, and now I don't sunburn. And I think I covered that in another video too, but my skin now, I didn't like going outside in the summer because it would take 5 minutes and I would walk back in the house and be completely fried. And now I can be outside all day long. And I may eventually burn if I'm out there too long, but the point is that I can actually be out there for an entire day without any kind of protection, and my skin tans. I don't need sunscreen. I don't wear it. That's my choice. I don't believe in that. But so I don't use that kind of protection, and in the sun, I know we shouldn't be blocking certain rays that we get from the sun. It's good for us. So we're definitely seeing a difference between the diet and just unusual things that you wouldn't even think of, because we just have never seen it in another diet before.
right. Well, and going hand in hand with being out in the summer, out in the sun, heat management. I mean, we'd hate going out in the sun on those humid, hot days here in Wisconsin. You just kind of, hated going out into it. Now, after doing this, when we hit the summertime, we were fine outside. Never got overheated, never got too hot. It was, I mean, now it's really comfortable. We can take walks in the hot summer and
anybody who's watching who remembers what it was like for me working at the brewery, I was miserable, sweating all of the time because I was running like crazy and overweight. And now I'm cold a majority of the time.
Right. Well, cravings. What did you encounter with cravings?
Well, that was really cool because within like the first 2 weeks of eating carnivore, I didn't have any cravings for sweets at all. And that includes alcohol.
Yes.
It becomes such a social norm. I think that we tend to wrap our socializing around food and drink. And so we're trying to find other ways to socialize, not that we're opposed to, drinking or whatever.
Yeah.
We're not opposed to, if we have to eat a certain, well, we're down to like one meal a day. We eat like one meal a day. So most of the time we're not even hungry when we get together with our friends. And if we are, we'll just eat, a couple burger patties off the menu or something. No big deal. And then the alcohol, I tend to want my beer more than you really want anything, honestly. But on our 1 year anniversary, January 28th, I got together with my girlfriend Lisa, and she celebrated with me with a couple of beers. So, and the next day, Lisa, you'll be glad to know I lost a couple pounds. So that's very beneficial.
You lost
too.
2 pounds when you got on the scale that next day.
Yeah, so and the scale is going to be another video I'm going to do with you guys because we were taught the wrong thing.
Yeah, with
too.
the scale, it doesn't have to be your worst nightmare when you think about getting on it. But just and a little bit more on the alcohol thing. That on our anniversary of being 1 year of being on carnivore, I had a couple glasses of dry Chardonnay, and you can do dry wines, dry reds, dry whites. You can do clear liquors. The problem is you just don't want to make a habit of it because it'll stop your metabolism from working. And if it the ketosis that takes effect where those ketones are eating that body fat, you drink, it's gonna kill those off right away, and it's gonna take a day or so to get those built back up again. So
what I was saying is he's a buzzkill.
I know. Well, it is what it is. I mean, you want to get results, and boy, you do get them. And we live in Wisconsin, so drinking is part of the culture in Wisconsin. Yep. We owned a brewery.
Cheese, beef sticks.
Yeah,
pizza,
cheese curds.
Beer.
Yep, and beer.
And football.
So excellent. Well, the 1 year. So from January 28th of 2023, we hit our 1 year mark just a couple of days ago. And the last part of this video, we are going to share those results on how it went. Go ahead, Wendy, start them off.
Well, my stats is I reversed pre-diabetes. I'm out of that range now. My size of clothing, I went from a size 24 down to a size 10, 12. And my shirts now are anywhere from medium to large. And I do still like my baggy sweatshirts. So extra large is usually what I do for that. And my total weight loss is 70 pounds. So
70 pounds
in 1 year.
In 1 year. And it's a different weight loss, though.
It is different.
It's not like your standard diet type weight loss. Now,
can I use this for an example?
Yeah, use your ring as an example.
So this ring I bought down in Mexico back when I was 26 years old. And what I weighed at 26 was my goal weight, 155 pounds. Well, I'm 190 and I'm wearing the ring. So something is very weird in how this weight loss is occurring. I really don't know. I think it's more muscle. I mean, we are more defined without working out because, we didn't do that. And I think it's more buildup of muscle than anything because it's very unique. Yeah. We weigh more, but we're like all of my rings, most of my rings that I had when I was in my 20s, they fit me now, but I was a lot smaller back when I was wearing them in my 20s. So something's very different about this weight loss journey.
Well, and it's the inflammation goes away, so that helps with that too. And I think eating this way, when you go into ketosis and those ketones, they're eating that fat that's been surrounding everything in your body. And I think that's what really starts shrinking it down. And we never did work out, and we are gaining muscle just from all the protein and fat we're eating. So
we're much toner in places that you wouldn't think of if we weren't lifting weights. So
Oh yeah.
But
my results, In 1 year, I started this out the same time Wendy did, and I started out at 306 pounds. That's where I was at, incredibly unhealthy, in pain. And as I sit here today, I made my goal weight actually the day before we hit our 1 year anniversary, and my goal weight was 225 pounds. And that's where I'm at for a grand total of about 81 pounds of weight loss in 1 year. Absolutely incredible. I was wearing a triple XL shirt, triple XL hoodies everywhere I went, and I was wearing size 42 pants. Today, I can comfortably fit in large/extra large shirts and hoodies, and I've gone from a 42 down to a size 34 waist. Now, I'm going to try to take this down to 215 just to have a little bit of leeway, but that's where I'm stopping at that point. And
Well, you're not really stopping carnivore diet, though.
correct. Just going to
just gonna
maintain at 215. At 215. And I will share, because of these results, my A1C well within the normal level now, not pre-diabetic any longer. Glucose way down, triglycerides excellent, blood pressure, which was high,
cholesterol,
went down. So very beneficial. One of the negative side effects, though, you're gonna have to spend some money on clothes.
Oh,
Because
it's not really a bad thing.
well, it's not a bad
Good
thing, but everything you have, especially if you were big like we were, it ain't gonna fit you. You're gonna look like you're wearing sheets. It's crazy. So
Yep, they're all packed away. So
those are our results, and it's true effects after 1 year. This was 1 year. We gave it, they give you the 30, 60, 90 days. We just felt so good. We wanted to see how far we're gonna go, and I don't think we're not gonna stop eating this way. There's no going back.
I think if anything, I've been, I saw a Reuben sandwich yesterday.
Yes.
And I have to have. So, of course, I'm not going to do the bread, but I'm thinking I'm going to pull out Shanna's sauerkraut because that's amazing stuff.
Very good
Yep.
stuff.
So I may do something like that where I combine my corned beef with some sauerkraut. But otherwise, we've learned a lot through this process about what our bodies can handle and what they can't. So we'll just stay away from those certain things.
Right.
And we've dabbled in the sweetener. We're learning some things about sweetener that don't make us happy, but
We'll do a video.
report back if we're wrong.
Yeah,
You know,
we're gonna do a
or
video
if we're
on
right,
sweeteners.
We'll let you know what happened. So, still experimental things that we're going through, but this is our 1 year report. So, and we'll do it again at our 2nd year.
Yep.
So.
And through the process, in that 1 year, we did hit probably 3 stalls.
Oh yeah,
3
It's gonna
stalls
happen.
where you're doing great, and then your weight just hangs at one spot. I think I was at 267 for a month and a half, and then neither of us could break for 2 or 3 months. I was stuck at 230, and I couldn't even move past that. And then all of a sudden, it just happened.
Yeah, and I was stuck, I think, at 207
Right.
I could not get out of it. It was like 3-4 months, and then finally it just starts moving. But how it moves, and we've been taught to not have patience, so we're learning that even though the scale said we were 2 pounds higher this morning, that's really not what's going on with our body. Like I said, I'm going to have a heart-to-heart about the scale and hopefully help to kill this idea that it's your enemy, because it's really not.
It's not.
No. But other than that, I think we've shared just about everything that we've experienced that was different from any other diet we tried.
You bet. And it's the most beneficial, the most positive experience I've ever had dieting. And I've lost more weight, dieting before and different things, but I gained it all back and then some. It doesn't feel like that. It really doesn't. No. So, well, excellent. If you like our content, we're going to see a lot more great videos coming out here. We're really going to dig into this a little bit deeper, get some recipes shared with you. But if you like what we're doing, please mash that like button and hit that subscribe. It really helps us, along with others, get our messages out there and get people healthy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, all right.
So on that note, we're going to sign off because we got to go finish this little project, which we might do a video on that too, because it's really cool.
Yes. We're going to show you how we eat carnivore camping. Absolutely.
Have a good night, guys.
Talk to you again.